realize that your parents weren't actually superheroes? I was 8 when my mom told me we were going to live with Uncle Darren for just a while. I didn't understand what was happening then, just that she was crying a lot and we left in the middle of the night with only 2 bags and my little brother's Spider-Man pillow. At first, Uncle Darren seemed fun. He had a pool, a game room, and always ordered pizza. But by the 3rd week, I noticed Mom was barely eating. She stayed in the guest room most of the day, curtains drawn, whispering on the phone. She never smiled when Darren was in the room. He'd always talk over her, say things like, "You owe me," or "This ain't a hotel, sis." Once, when she tried to leave for a job interview, he blocked the door with one arm and told her, "Not until I get my car back or you pay for gas." She didn't go. I started watching my little brother more. Mom would ask me to keep him distracted, and I did. We'd sit outside for hours, coloring on the concrete with old chalk while the house filled with muffled arguments. I didn't understand what was going on, but I knew Mom was scared, and so was I. One night, I woke up to the sound of yelling. I crept out and saw Darren standing over Mom, waving a bill in her face. She was on the couch, crying, holding her phone like a shield. I wanted to run in and help her, but I just stood there frozen. The next morning, Darren made pancakes and acted like nothing happened. He even called me princess and handed me extra syrup. I knew something was wrong when Mom wouldn't eat hers. The day it all fell apart, I had just gotten home from school and found Mom sitting on the floor of the laundry room, whispering into the vent. She told me she was talking to the house, but later that night, she packed our things. She didn't tell Darren. She waited until he left for his weekly poker night, then grabbed our backpacks and shoved us into the car. We made it halfway across town before she pulled over. Her hands were shaking so bad she couldn't drive. I asked her if she was okay and she said, "I don't know who I am anymore." She didn't cry. She just stared ahead like she was looking for a map that didn't exist. We stayed in a shelter for 2 weeks. I told people we were camping. My brother believed me. Mom tried to make it fun. She made shadow puppets on the wall and braided my hair each morning. But one night I woke up to find her sitting on the floor again, staring at nothing. That was the moment I realized no one was coming to save us. Not Dad, who'd stopped answering his phone a year earlier. Not Darren. Not whatever version of Mom that used to laugh with us in the kitchen. I started doing everything. I made our bed, kept my brother quiet during intake interviews, and taught him how to fall asleep even when the other rooms were loud. One of the volunteers started calling me Little Mama. We eventually got placed in a women's housing unit. It had shared bathrooms, creaky bunk beds, and a security guard named Victor, who gave my brother candy when he didn't cry during check-ins. I thought things would get better. Then I found out Mom was sneaking out at night. She said it was to talk to lawyers, but I saw her once, through the fence, talking to Darren again. He handed her something in a plastic bag, and she stuffed it in her coat. When I asked, she said it was for her nerves. I didn't believe her. Years later, after Mom finally got a stable job and we had a tiny apartment of our own, I found a letter in her dresser. It was from Darren, dated during the shelter days. It said, "I still own you. Don't forget it." She'd kept it. That was the day I stopped seeing her as a superhero. Not because she was weak, but because I finally understood she'd been surviving just like me. With lies, with fear, with hope she didn't really believe in.